Hey, welcome to Polish with Ray. I'm Rachel and today I'm going to be sharing with you what I wore on my nails in February. Before we get started, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you're excited to see what nail polishes I loved and didn't love this month. And if you're not already subscribed, I hope you'll think about it. So February was a little bit of a rocky month. I recently had a baby, like I've mentioned 1,000,000 times, and she didn't sleep very well this month, so I didn't have that much time to paint my nails. I was able to get on 15 different polishes, which I feel like is pretty good. I would say that most of the month I stuck with shades that were kind of like Valentine's inspired, since those are like some of my favorite colors to wear on my nails, period. Those beautiful pinks, reds, some polishes have like flashes of pink or red in them. I also explored some more purples this month to kind of narrow down exactly what shades of purple I do like to wear on my nails. And as always, some were a hit, some I didn't like so much. So if this is your first time checking out one of my What I Wore videos, we're gonna start off with polishes that I wore for pedicures. Then we're gonna look at all of my manicures that I wore in February. First, the ones that I liked okay, then the ones I didn't like, and then the ones that I really loved. I'll include some up-close bottle shots and some swatch photos. All right, so starting with pedicures first. Most of the month I wore this gorgeous polish from Stella Chroma. It is actually part of their mystery subscription box. This was September 2022's mystery polish. I would describe it as having a black or a very, very deep purple base with a beautiful large particle purple and pink shimmer. When I got this in my mystery box, I wasn't quite sure what to think. Black just isn't a color that I gravitate towards typically on my nails, but that shimmer, oh my goodness, it really got me. I love the purple and pink in there, and I think this polish was created with Halloween in mind, but something about it just said winter to me. And I actually was gonna wear it as a manicure, but I was feeling a little bold with my pedicures this month and decided to stray away from my usual and try it as a pedicure, and I absolutely loved it. Although I couldn't see the shimmer on my nails, I loved the pigmentation of this polish. It had full opacity in 2 coats. They were very smooth and even and easy to apply. And I couldn't see that sparkle from the shimmer, but it did give it kind of like a glow. Definitely one that I'll be keeping and wearing in the future, probably as a manicure too. And then the other pedicure that I wore this month is a shade from Color Club. Unfortunately, I do not know the name of this shade, so looking at the polish in the bottle, if you think you know what it might be called, let me know down in the comments because I would love to know. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen back in the fall, I want to say it was, that there were some, were they quads? Maybe sets of 5 or 6 polishes in boxed sets at Marshall's and TJ Maxx. And so I grabbed a few of those, and when I got home, I realized a good amount of them did not have a label on them. So I didn't want to waste them. They were gorgeous shades, but I was a little disappointed that I didn't know their names. But I decided to wear my first one that is unnamed. I would describe the shade as a muted, mid-toned, warm-leaning eggplant shade. Like pretty much every Color Club I've ever tried, maybe every single Color Club polish I've tried, this one had a bananas formula. It was so smooth, so easy to work with. It was fully opaque in 2 coats, no problem. I really liked this as a pedicure color too. This is not my normal. Usually I wear red or pink as a pedicure, but I, like I said, wanted to try out some more purples this month, and I gotta say I loved this one as a pedicure, as a manicure. I just wish I knew what it was called. All right, on to the polishes that I liked okay this month. The first one comes from Lacquer. It's called Kiss Me at Midnight. This one is a beautiful, bright, vivid purple base with a flash of pink, gold, and lots of holographic flakes. I think there's a blue flash too. This one had an incredible formula. All Rogue polishes do. I always find that they are super opaque, really pigmented, and very easy to apply. I love the sparkle of this one, and I thought it was a really beautiful color. I love these kind of like borderline magenta shades. This is more of a purple, but it definitely leans magenta to me anyway. But I didn't necessarily like it on me. It's a shade that I love to look at on the bottle. When I looked at swatches, I really loved it, and I still love it. But on myself, I just kind of liked it. I'm just finding that since I have warm undertones, a lot of polishes that also have warm undertones just don't suit me as well. But it was a beautiful polish. I might love it more on me in the future, so I'm gonna hold on to it. Another one I really enjoyed but didn't absolutely love comes from China Glaze, and it's called High Maintenance. This one is a deep red cream polish. So I went into this manicure with some really high hopes. The base color of this is everything I could want in a red. It's deep, it's broody, it's got cool undertones. I knew I was gonna love the color on me. I wasn't super in love with the formula though. I will say I was being very, very picky about this because I just feel like mainstreams, it should always pretty much be a one coat red situation. Reds have just been around forever, and there's so many wonderful ones out there that when I encounter one that isn't a one coater, then I'm like, really? This one was close though. It was close. I'm being really picky. I got it to full opacity for most of my nails in 2 coats, but one of my nails did need 3. My ring finger in my swatch photos, I don't know if you can tell, but that was the only nail that I added that 3rd coat. And I thought the finished product was beautiful. It had such a squishy, juicy, jelly finish. I was all about it. I'm hanging on to this for sure. Will definitely rewear, but I do wish it would have built up to full opacity in 1 or 2 coats. And the last one that I just kind of liked okay, it comes from Pahlish, and it is called Geysir. This one is a little bit difficult to describe. It, I think, has kind of like a light gray base with holographic flakes and iridescent flakes. It is so sparkly. Okay, so this polish itself, I did absolutely love. My goodness, it is a gorgeous polish. Just the amount of sparkle between the hollow flakes and the iridescent flakes, it was unreal on my nails. It was just like wrong place, wrong time. When I put this on my winter rack initially, I wanted to wear it. I put so many polishes like this on my winter rack this season. I wanted to wear it on a snowy day. I like imagined a day where it was really snowy, but the sun was out and you could see the hollow, and looking at my mani against the snow, it just seemed like perfect in my mind. But this winter we have had no snow, which is really unusual. I mean, winter's not over yet. We still could get some snow, but I don't think we're going to. And I wasn't gonna wait another year to wear this polish. I think I got it in a D-stash last year, but it might have even been the year before. So I went ahead and put it on. I completely loved how it looked on me, but I just wasn't feeling it so much because I wanted that snowy, wintry weather. That might not make any sense to anybody else, but it makes sense in my head. All right, and then there were 2 manicures that I just was not feeling this month. The first one comes from OPI. It is Tealing Festive. This one is simply a metallic teal shade. So I 100% grabbed this one because I just heard so many people ooh and ah about the fabulous formula. Pretty much every review I watched of this winter 2022 collection from OPI, every review I watched said that this was one of their top picks from the collection because it had a 1-coat formula. It did. It was outstanding to apply. So easy, even though OPI's brush is not my favorite. It's not awful, but it's not my favorite. It applied itself. It has a beautiful, beautiful formula. The finished result was super shiny and reflective. It was nice. But I'm not that crazy about metallics in general. It's definitely not like my top 5, maybe even 10 favorite polish finishes. So I didn't love the finish look on me. I am gonna hold on to this one because my tastes change fairly frequently, and maybe metallics are totally my thing sometime, and this polish is exactly what I'm looking for because it's a great polish. It is gorgeous. If you like metallics, you definitely need this one, but it just wasn't what I was wanting. And then the other manicure that I did not like this month, I really, really didn't like. I wore it for less than 24 hours because I had to get it off my nails as soon as possible. It made me sad. It was actually a combo. So as a base, I wore Bee's Knees Lacquer Apology Donuts, and then I topped it with ILNP Moonstone. Bee's Knees Lacquer Apology Donuts has a very, very sheer kind of grayed out base with shimmer that shifts purple to blue to pink to gold. And ILNP Moonstone, I think it's called part of their collection of Real Magic toppers. It is a topper, so it's got a clear base and it's got these these micro flakies that shift pink to purple to blue to green to copper. It is very rainbowy and so pretty. So I feel like this combination needs some explanation, so forgive all my talking. But I have been really wanting to wear Bee's Knees Lacquer Apology Donuts. I feel like I've seen Caitlin's swatches on Instagram. I'll link her stuff down below, but she's just been posting, and she's always posting so many gorgeous glowy manis. They just have this shimmer that's unreal, and they look so good on her. And so I was craving that kind of look on my nails. So I wanted to wear Bee's Knees Lacquer Apology Donuts. I purchased this knowing it was going to be super sheer, but I have read Lore Olympus and I liked the Apology Donuts reference, and so I grabbed this polish. Knowing it was sheer, I went in with 2 coats of Polished for Days Snow V&L Blurring Base Coat. I went in with 4 coats of Apology Donuts from Bee's Knees Lacquer and could still see a little bit of nail line. And then I did want a little something extra. I was kind of pushing it. And so I went in with a coat of IL&P Moonstone and then a top coat. Yeah, I bet you probably already know the situation. All those layers did not dry. The finished look, what I think I have to show you in my photos, it was beautiful. It was gorgeous. And I would have loved it if it came from a combo that did not include a blurring base coat, just a regular base coat, 3 coats of a polish, and that's it. But having to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 layers of polish for a manicure, that is just too much. I should have left off IL&P Moonstone, but it's just so pretty, and I knew the combo would be perfect. I will say that my photos for this, for whatever reason, really freaked out my camera. I got a new phone, and I'm kind of still getting used to the phone camera. It blew out the shimmer big time. It makes it look super blue. It was glowy, but it did not look like that in person. But yeah, unfortunately, aside from the fact that I was just frustrated that I had to use so many coats to get the opacity I desired, which again is on me. This polish was advertised as a sheer shade. But because I had to use so many coats and it just didn't dry down, it got smudged kind of quickly, and I was just frustrated. So I am definitely going to be destashing Bee's Knees Lacquer Apology Donuts, but I will be keeping IL&P Moonstone. All right, and now on to polishes that I loved for this month. The first one is a Bee's Knees Lacquer. It is Death and Fury. This one is a gorgeous, super dark, like cherry cola red. It's really, really deep and broody, and it's got shimmer that shifts red to copper to gold and hollow flakes. This one is a lion with a thorn in its paw sibling, which I love that finish, and wow, it's so beautiful. I wore this one, as you can see from my swatch photos, towards the beginning of the month and actually had a pretty sad nail break while this was on my nails. That's why they are short in the rest of my photos. But this looked fabulous on long nails. I know it would look great on short nails too. The shift in the shimmer was beautiful. The hollow flakes just glow and sparkle in that base. They add a lot of contrast. Yeah, this polish is remarkable. And the formula, perfection. It was fully opaque in 2 coats. Another kind of red shade I wore this month comes from Fair Maiden Polish. This one is Heart times 3. This one is a warm red base. It's a jelly base with holographic glitter. I was loving holographic glitter this month. I have some other polishes with that in it too. I don't usually love that, but for some reason I was all about it this month. And this polish was no exception. I was not sure I was gonna like it so much because it's so warm leaning. A friend of mine gifted this to me. I was telling her how much I wanted it, and when it came in the mail, when I saw it in person, I was like, oh, that is a lot warmer of a red than I thought. So I wasn't sure I was gonna like it on, but wow, I thought it was fabulous. And I love that the hollow glitter still managed to sparkle through the red base. The red base did cover up the glitter just a little bit, as red bases tend to do, but the hollow sparkle was still visible, and in the sun it looked incredible. This is the one that I actually wore on Valentine's Day. So yeah, loved this one. Another hollow glitter that I wore comes from Starly, and it is called High Maintenance. This one is a beautiful, bright Barbie pink jelly base with holographic glitter. This one was, oh my gosh, if there was like a next level for like this category is polishes that I love, if there was a polishes that I can't live without category, this one would fall into that. I was in love with this manicure. I think I wore it for 4 or 5 days and I still could have kept it on longer if I didn't have some chipping going on. It wasn't even chipping, it was like tip wear. But yeah, this polish was beautiful and it wore amazingly. It was fully opaque in 2 coats, very pigmented, loaded with that hollow glitter. So amazing. If you don't have this one and you like pink holographic, I don't need to say any more, do I? Another kind of pinkish shade I wore comes from Sept Colors. It's called Wild Berry West. This one has a magenta base and it's got a flash that is blue. It might shift to gold in certain lightings, it kind of looks like. And then it's got holographic sparkle. I was all about the hollow this month, wasn't I? This one, another one, that next level, can't live without kind of polish. I was so in love. It just had the squishiest jelly base. I built it up to opacity, I think in 3 coats, although I really couldn't see my nail line in 2. That extra coat added a little bit more plumpness and really made the manicure look finished. But because of those 3 coats and the glossy top coat, it just had the shiniest, juiciest, squishiest jelly formula of all time. And then the blue shimmer, the holographic sparkle, this polish was everything I dreamed of when I purchased it. Don't you love it when you buy a polish and you have these high expectations and then you wear it and it meets or surpasses those expectations? It's just like the best feeling. And that's what this polish did. So pretty. Another one I wore and loved comes from Nailed It Nail Polish and it's called Aurora. This one has a white base, shimmer that shifts copper to gold to red, and holographic flakes. When I wore this polish, I was like face palm because I pretty much already have this shade from another brand. I would say this polish is really comparable to Wildflower Lacquer Butterbean. It just has holographic flakes, whereas Butterbean has linear holographic. But yeah, same-ish base colors, same shifts. So I'm contemplating destashing this one, even though I love it so much. I don't really need 2 of the same polish, and I might even have a backup of Butterbean, so I don't need 3 of the same polish. But this is a beautiful, beautiful polish. The base is so soft, the holographic flakes are gorgeous, the shifts are so visible on the nail. It was incredibly shifty, wonderful to wear. I did need 3 coats for full opacity, but that's expected for a shade so light. But yeah, I just was kind of bummed. As soon as I put it, I was like, wait, I've worn this before, but I haven't worn this before. Oh my gosh, this is basically Butterbean. 2 more. The next one is from Pahlish and it is called The Big Boo. This one has it's kind of hard to describe. It's got like a blue-ish, charcoaly gray-ish base with shimmer that is very blue and iridescent flakes that shift pink to purple to blue and holographic flakes. A lot going on in here. This one I grabbed when it came back in Rewind. Was it last year? I think it was last summer. It came back in Rewind and I grabbed it then. Maybe it was the summer before. It was the summer before, I'm pretty sure. But I've heard so many people talk about how amazing this polish is. That's why it came back for Rewind. And it so did not let me down. It was very, very versatile. In the sun, you got all the sparkle from the holographic and that gorgeous blue glow. But then in lower lighting, it almost felt like it became a metallic and you got the shiftiness of the iridescent flakies. It was remarkable. This one, in my heart, felt like a winter polish. It was a late addition to my winter rack, but after I saw it in the sun, I was like, wait, this seems a little bit more appropriate for summertime because of all of the sparkle from the hollow. And honestly, it's one I could see myself wearing any time of year. This one was just amazing. And the final polish that I wore, the one that I ended the month with, is from Garden Path Lacquers and it's called Datura. It is like a jade jungle green base with flakies that shift gold to green to red to copper. This polish was absolute love as well. I ended up building it up to 4 coats. I could still see a little bit of nail line when I wore this polish, which this one was a rewear. I don't remember building it up to 4 coats last time, but it was well worth it because it built up to full opacity, and the shift in the flakiness, the shift in the flakes was amazing. And I just felt like the flakes contrasted so beautifully against the green base. This one, I'm starting to get a little bit of a fill line on it, and I'm a little bit sad about it. Even though I love fill lines on polishes, they just make me feel like I've accomplished something. Like checking something off a to-do list. I'm very type A. But seeing the fill line on this polish makes me a little sad because I really don't see polishes like this very often. So those are all the polishes that I wore in February. Let me know down in the comments which of these do you have in your collection? Which of them did you absolutely fall in love with too? I've gotta know. What do I see myself wearing in March? I can see myself wearing a lot of green. I've already pulled a ton of green polishes to wear. So if you want to see the polishes as I wear them, I'll link my Instagram account down in the comments in the description box, and I post my manicures there, sometimes photos, sometimes reels, so you can check them out there. I've also been uploading a lot of shorts sharing my manicures as I've been wearing them too here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!